Howdy everyone, and welcome back to Random Things. I am TJ, and today we got another toy review from the makers of your favorite glues and now slimes. Comes Elmer, now the makers of squishy kits. I've been seeing these floating around work for a while. Thought, hey, fuck it, let me pick up one, see what they're all about. And without further ado, let's get to it. Over to the random desk.
Okay, so let's see what we got in the box. Opening it's pretty easy. There's some tape here and some tape here. After that, it's a simple, supposed to be simple, slide out. You got that. And on the box here. Simply open it up, and we got a kit. So basically, we have two of everything. Two mystery molds with numbers on them. Two stir sticks, two tubs of glue. I don't know if this is the same color in every single one. This is the only one I have. There's two mixing cups with actual like parts A and B like measured on them. That's pretty cool. You have two packets of part A and part B. I'm assuming this means this is a sort of add two together, which means there should be enough for one mold each. And here's the guide. Instructions. There's nice, good colored instructions. And then a checklist. There is a ton of these. I'll go over them individually later. Okay, everybody. Let's go ahead and do one of these. In here, I got one complete ready to go. First things first. Always protect your work areas. Nice tray. Now the instructions did talk about how some of the stuff can actually stain surfaces. So a paper towel or something would probably be a good idea. I'll get it open. You got your mold. Your measuring cup. Handy stir stick. It's A and B. And the colored glue. For this one, we're going to be doing green. And instructions. The instructions are actually pretty easy to follow. It's basically just need the packets for 15 seconds each. I guess to get the chemicals mixed up. I'll start with part A, pour it into the cup. Actually, something pretty cool with these is, see the slot here? That's actually so that you can put the packet into it and then kind of curl it. That way you really do get the most out of the, don't waste too much inside, which I think is a nice little touch, being completely honest with you. Then you do the same for B. Then you add the colored glue in. Now it does come with glue, but you can add any 1 teaspoon of Elmer glue to it, which I actually did do off camera, and I'll talk about the results of that. Stir for 1 minute, pour it into the mold, scrape off the top to make it level, and let it set for 60 minutes. And then pull it out. Now the 60-minute thing, I don't know if it's because it's kind of cold right here. Cold here in Texas right now, but mine, yeah, I had to leave at least 2 hours before it stopped being tacky, and I left all of mine overnight. This may vary. It doesn't really say anywhere in here about what temperature it should be at, but I guess if you're probably in a drier or hotter area, it might take that only 60 minutes, but here I tested it for like 2 or 3 hours and it was still pretty tacky. Enough to get out of the mold, you just need to leave it overnight to set. Then cool. Now something cool about these is, other than a number, it has a number for some reason, despite there being no numbers here. Kind of obscure. You can kind of tell what it is, but it's not really super detail. Really, I think helps with the we're looking for mold or mystery of it. I won't show you which one it is, but it comes apart, just 2 pieces, clamps. It's got pegs to help it keep in place. I didn't have really any leaking with the other ones. But let's get to it. Part A, 2 seconds. Okay, so I mixed those off screen because that'd be boring as fuck to watch. Now let's get to mixing. These are actually come off pretty easily, the tabs do. So far pretty good quality. The pre-perforated. Like I said, you take this, it actually mounts here on the bottom. And it's just a matter of rolling it. Kind of like toothpaste. Which is actually a pretty clever thing if you ask me. Especially when I get into later about how fucking expensive some of these things are. That's good. I'll go through and kind of work through the last bit drops. Go. Careful and with these, because it did say these are not washable. So be careful with these mixes. Part B. Now, weird thing is that it comes with measuring lines on here, but the instructions don't say measure to the lines. It says use the whole packet, and the whole thing is actually a little bit more than A. So I don't know what that's all about. I don't know if you're meant to measure it. Maybe that's why I was having issues with it curing. Or just supposed to go with the whole packet like the instructions said. I don't know, like, I don't think it's a universal measure, because something going later is the amount of stuff that's actually left over. So, part B in here. Now this is meant to cause some kind of chemical reaction like any kind of mixture, and weirdly enough it does not give off any kind of heat. I know a lot of resins, a lot of these kind of mixed solution things tend to give off a lot of heat or smell or something. Not getting anything with that, other than the don't, get it on things because it can stain, it's not washable. Very kid-friendly so far. If you trust your kids not to stain your shit, of course. Okay, next step is the glue. Using this green, kind of cool little tube. Nice little, up here to squeeze it with at the end. We're just going to squeeze the whole thing in there. I'm going to assume this is a teaspoon, as it says add your own teaspoon of it. So I'm going to assume this is just glue. If you were to add your own glue, I'm pretty sure you could use this as a general purpose glue for other stuff. But this kit does not really tell you what this stuff is, but chemicals wise. But it's Elmer, so I'm going to assume it's safe. Put the cap back on. If I see here, green schnot group. Now we just need to mix it for a minute straight. Start up my timer and start. Now it doesn't say anything about aggressively or careful or whatnot. I know it's not a resin. I'm not having an issue. I didn't have any issues with bubbles. So get there and get as good as you can, I guess. Fourth. As you see, it's actually starting to turn. Almost Nickelodeon fucking Gap color. It's kind of funny because that thing is orange. Very funny to me. You guys remember that shit back in the day? The fucking slime fucking all over the place? That shit looked disgusting. I heard the history of it too was pretty fucking disgusting too. Almost done, 10 seconds left. Just about. Now, this stuff does already start to harden. It's got the consistency of not so much slime in here, so you see the pore. Now, make sure it is mixed good. I did do an experiment I'll talk about later that didn't mix very well and did not end out very well. So make sure it is nice and consistent and, you know, stirred pretty good. That is actually really is important. Now let's step to the mold. Here's the mold. This is the bottom where the feet would go. Now the mold does go all the way up to the top, like here's the toes right here. So really do fill it up as much as fucking possible. The stuff stirs pretty good. I mean, pours pretty okay. You don't need a funnel or nothing. I would just be careful going a little bit slow, as in I have found that there was way more of this stuff. Oh. Sorry about that. Than there actually is to go into the mold. And it seems to be different, as I'll talk about later. As one of them did not use as much of the actual, like, I don't know, goo as one of the other ones did. So I wouldn't just go ham and pour the whole thing in. Also, as far as like having to like knock it in, I know some resins you need to kind of like knock it in. I didn't really have that issue with this. The stuff really is just pretty simple. It's pretty cool. There we go. Double check. Nice and slow. This is for kids. I would definitely supervise this part. You know, I don't know if this stuff is like going to see efforts like this. Is that the coloring is just what you call it? Just normal glue. Almost. Come on, almost there. Go. Now, it says to just take this here. It's kind of bubbling. Hard to tell. So bubbly, and just wipe off the top. There we go. And it's that simple. There really is all the steps. Now all this stuff right here, that's kind of like a film. I will say once it dries, the really thin stuff really does kind of peel off easily. So don't worry about it if it's a bit of a mess. That stuff is easy as fuck, you know, to get off. I would say is, like here's a little notch right here. It's actually a tail, and it is freaking like, I don't know, a dime's width. So there really is no like grace with hair. Make sure you get it nice and smooth, because it really is meant to be like the feet and the base of it. So make sure you get in there good and really do get it nice and level, or you're going to probably have a squishy that isn't going to stand on its own. Also, kind of hard to tell, but probably about right here. Let's get the camera right there. That's probably about to almost the A is how much of this is actually left. Now, something I did to experiment with and actually worked was I actually had some silicone molds of like flowers and stuff that I actually put some of the extras in to see if it would work. And it did. Also, I have found that the shape of this cup is actually pretty cool. Let it set, flat and settle. Then I cut off this, and it actually makes a nice colored stand to put them on. So, you're going to have a little bit, it seems to depend on each one. Now, cleanup. Once the stuff dries, it really doesn't stick to anything. It really will just peel off. You kind of like, you know, like when you have, well, Elmer's glue like stuck to your hands and stuff, you just kind of go and it comes off. Now, something about the instructions do not tell you to do. Fucking save these. Let them. You can wash them now if you want to. I think just letting them dry works perfectly fine. But fucking save these goddamn things, okay? For a reason I will get into later in this video. But for now, let's let this guy set. And I will see you guys probably tomorrow. Like I said, I have had the best results with just letting it go overnight. So I will see you guys in a little bit. Okay, we are back. It is the next day. You guys ready to see? The instruction says it shouldn't be tacky. It should stick a little sticky, but not be too tacky. No longer sticking to me. So let's get it. Now see how easy this is? I'm gonna rip the bottom part off real fast. That is how easy this stuff actually cleans off of molds. Coming off you, not so much. Now it's easy as. And there it is. Next thing is a little bit of, I think it's called flashing. That stuff, and it says in the instructions just to peel it off. It kind of breaks it off real easily. And not entirely perfect, but for me, I don't care. If you want to spend more time on it, go for it. But here we go. We got this little armadillo boy. And, well, these are squishies, so let's give it a squish test. Pretty dang squishy. You see the color came out just as green as the, what you call it, so it didn't lose too much color in it. So that was pretty cool. Now, I did do a couple of these off screen, which I will show up here in a second. But it does come with a good variety of colors. Let me see, where's the instructions? Yeah, seems to be blue, orange, purple, yellow, and green. And let's see here. They're not set to the mold. Let's see if I can't find this guy here, Mr. Armadillo. Right here. Now he actually is green in this one, but I actually got a duplicate of this one and it didn't come with green. So the colors that you have in here are not stuck to the colors that actually come in the boxes. And of the two I got I think 2 different colors. So yeah, so the colors are random too. So if you're really going to collect, there really is more than 8, as if you do it, I guess there's technically 4 or 5 different colors of each mold you could get if you really, really wanted to. Now, onto this. Now, if you've got a kid at home, I wouldn't let them do this part. Definitely, this part's definitely not for kids. Because I don't like letting things go to waste. It's nice if I can get it to get out. Come on. Being shy for the camera. And there we go. Same thing. Rip off this. I'll do that later. Got this cool shape here. You go, look. A little extra. Yeah, nice little stand. Not really a feature, but I guess looking for a little bit extra here. So that's cool. Now let's go back to the random room and let's talk about some of the things like pricings. Some of the other ones, I'll showcase the other ones I got, a little bit of experimenting I did, and my overall thoughts. So back to the random desk, random room, randomness, I don't know. Okay, so before we get into the cool stuff, looking at them,
let's talk about the prices and like different packs you can get real quick. So it comes in 4 packs. You got the single for about $7. The double comes in about 13. That's I got 2 of those, and a 4-pack for about 23. Now each of these is a complete kit. So for the single, it's everything you need to make one. So like one thing of glue, stir stick, cup, yada yada. Same thing for the 2, and the same thing for the 4-pack. Now, like individually, they seem to get cheaper. For the larger packs you get, I guess if you're trying out, I guess start with the single and work the way up. I don't know if the rarities in between them are different. Like I said, I only bought 2 double packs. I ended up getting a double and I ended up getting a rare, so that's cool. Now on to the 4th thing you can get, and that is this. A 5-pack refill for about $18. And I don't know how I feel about this. Now it's very cool that you can buy more of the mixture to make more of them with the mold you have. The only thing is, this is just 5 packets. So between 10, 5 of A and B. So that makes 5 squishies. This doesn't come with glue. It doesn't come with, obviously not a mold. But it doesn't come with, the stir stick, which has like the special slot in it to allow you to get the most out of it. It's made for these packets. And it doesn't come with a cup to mix it. So for $18, you're just getting just that. And they're like not a complete kit anymore. So I don't know how I feel about it, because for $5 more, you get a 4-pack, which comes with everything you need plus 4 molds. So I don't know how I feel about it. I guess if you got the money, that does make it kind of expensive. But I think this is kind of an expensive hobby. But at least, the kits are complete kits, start to finish. Everything you need is in that box. But if you want to do, a refill, you gotta buy the glue. You gotta buy something to mix them in. And I know they can be cheap. Those can be cheap too. You can probably get them at the dollar store. Use popsicle sticks and shit. But that's still extra money on top of that, and you're probably still, after tax, leading up to a 4-pack. So in my opinion, I would be much better just to buy the packs than the refills. But then again, maybe that's to get you to buy more. If it is, it's very smart. But with that said, let's move on to looking at how the molds came out. Okay, here are the molds. I got two packs, so I got 4. They all have numbers on the side. Hard to tell from this, but I got 2 of the same. So that kind of sucks. But I also did get, you can see, a gold one, which is one of the rare ones. Actually, we only bought 2 packs, so I don't know how rare some of these are, but the fact that I got a double and a rare is making me kind of skeptical. Especially since there's 80 of these to collect, and if out of 2 packs I already got a double, that doesn't make me hopeful for if I wanted to, collect them all, so to speak. So be mindful of that if you for some reason want to go and collect these all. I would assume be prepared for lots of doubles, and maybe not too hard getting the rares if I was able to get that, but I don't know, mixed bag. Now on to the figures. Okay, first up we have, and I don't know if you guys knew this, but they all got names, and this one's Owen. I did him in blue. I guess he's some kind of Cyclops thing. Really impressed with this one. I don't know if my camera pick it up, but there actually is a lot of detail. There's like a pattern on his back, on his shoulders. You see all his teeth, he has little toes. It is so goddamn cute. There's enough left over for one. I made a little pedestal for him. Okay, we have the one that we just did. Its name is Lane. Kind of a weird name. Some kind of armored armadillo. It's again pretty cool. You see all his toes, he got a little tail, little paws. Very, very, very cute. I do like this one. Reminds me of something off Ark or something. Okay. Now on to this one, which is another copy of Lane. He's the one I got 2 of. And, well, I did some experimenting with this one. You might notice a bunch of holes in it. You may also notice a bunch of little spots of other colors.
The flowers around it was, I actually took the extra leftover, instead of leaving it in the cup. I actually put it into a silicone mold for fondant, and I got these cute little flowers. That's how much extra there was. Like I said, so if you had molds or something, you can put in. They're a little bit of a pain. You kind of had to work them out, but they came out clean. Now on to the holes in the experiment. See, I had an extra tube because I did make the last one with some glue I bought to see what would happen. As it says in the instructions, you can do that. So I had an extra tube. I thought, why don't I mix it in to get swirls or something? And that was a fucking bad idea. When it says you need to mix the stuff really good, it was not fucking joking. I had mixed the red, or this pink color, all the way in, and then I squirted a little bit of the blue in, and then kind of swirled a little bit, so I got a swirl effect. That wasn't enough to, whatever was in the part A and B that would turn the glue solid or rubbery, that was not enough to activate it. So basically, when it dried, there were pockets of uncured glue in it. So basically, I had made him, and there were like pockets of like pimples all over it that needed to be popped. Exactly what happened. I started moving around, and I had completely uncured blue glue leaking out of it. So, yeah, it seems like some spots actually did take, but I'm going to limb here and say that that's probably just because they're so deep in it that there's just no hole for it to escape, and I'm pretty sure if I was to pop a needle or something, that would be glue. Now, the rest of it cured right. It didn't like affect how the red cured. So if you're going to be mixing and experimenting, you know, be careful. Especially how much these damn things cost. So that was my first experiment. Now on to the last one. This was the rare one. It is an alethane called Charlotte. And you might notice how it's gray. This is the one where I said, hey, use your own glue with it. Use any Elmer's glue for additional effect, yada yada, and it shows like, hey, you don't use a color change one. So I want to do color change, so I got a really cool fucking glue. I got this. I got a cosmic glue. Look at that, it is so cool. Looks like a galaxy. It's blue and green and shimmery and shit. Yeah, tell me, does that look like it? No. So definitely didn't. Now, I will say though, it does have a lot of sparkly in it. It's like glitter or something in it. And it did come out with a nice, cool, spacey green. Not green, but like gray with like some green specks in it. Still cool, but don't go in thinking, oh, I'm going to use this really cool, nice, probably more expensive than normal glue. Don't get some kind of effect. I know when I started mixing it, it instantly turned gray. Now, I think that might be because this glue dries clear. So I think during the curing process, it essentially turns into what it would look like clear, which to me is a little bit of false advertising if I bought this glue because I wanted some fucking sparkly glue and it ended up not being sparkly glue. But that's what experimenting is all about. I did it so you guys don't have to. A little disappointing. I still think it's pretty cool. This one is actually pretty cool. You see it's got all kinds of feather detail. There's enough to make 2 flowers, so once again, all of these seem to have enough left over that if you want to put in other stuff or leave it in the cup. If you did have a cup that came with it, which I'll get into in their next segment. So, hey, back to the random dome.
Okay, so what are my thoughts? I know, sorry guys, it's been a long video, so I'll keep it brief. I think it's pretty cool. I know I do a lot of sub-tier kind of dollar store shit here, and this is a little bit more expensive than I'd like, but all in all, I think it's a really cool product. It is each box is everything you need. I mean, the dry time's a little bit iffy, but all in all, I mean, it's a beginning to end complete kit. I think the squishies are actually cute. There really is a lot to collect. I'm sure that if you were to buy a bunch, you would get a bunch of different ones. I don't know if I had bad luck or good luck with, what I got. But all in all, I think they're cool. It does what it says on the box, and the box has everything. I think the whole thing with the refills that I explained is a little bit, in my opinion, depends on how much money you have, how many you want to collect. I think maybe this might be a cool kit if you had kids. Pick up a 4-pack, everybody gets one, everybody can do it together. Picking the glue, especially if you already are like a crafty family and you have, different Elmer glues and stuff around that you could add to it that I'm spending money. I think this could be a cool product. All in all, it gets a big thumbs up from me. With that saying, guys, sorry for making this such a long one. I was actually having a pretty good time with this one. But thank you guys for stopping by as always. If you like this video, please like and comment. I would love to hear what you guys would like me to review next. I'm trying to branch out from things like dinosaurs into more stuff like this. I am very surprised I didn't get a dinosaur. But I would love to hear from you guys. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know what you guys want to see next. And with that, I'm going to see you guys next time. And you guys have a good one.